Hey, good day to you and happy Wednesday. Usually it's midweek for a lot of people, but with Monday as a holiday for most, Memorial Day, it's a shorter week. But anyways, hope you're doing well. And we're going to continue with, since next week, we are starting off with using baby steps to improve our health for the full month of June, which actually starts tomorrow. Today is the last day of May. So we're going to start, the way things are going this week. Yesterday's video was on the body. Today we're going to talk about the mind, and tomorrow, because I got things going on Friday, we'll talk about the spirit. So let's go and hop into it with 15 ideas on baby steps for improving your mind health. So with mind, I break it down. With body from yesterday, we broke that down to fitness, nutrition, and rest. With mind, we're breaking it down to analytical, basically analytical mind, your creative mind, and the subconscious. So let's start with the analytical. Analytical, more or less, is trying to use your logical side, thinking, learning. So a couple of ways to do that is, especially is if you do any commuting, do any traveling, podcast, audio books. Great one to be able to do through. If you got the downtime there, instead of listening to the radio, go through and listen to something that's going to educate you, learn something, get something new on you. Another one you can use throughout the day is like watch videos. I like to watch a lot of videos, and most of the videos, here's a little tip for you, I watch about 2x speed. Except if it's music related, or if sometimes they got an accent, I can't quite understand them, I watch slower. Most of the videos I watch at 2x speed. And even there is an extension you can add to your browser so that you can do that to any video. Reading, this goes along with the learning aspect, is now reading stories just for pure entertainment has its place. That's not what I'm referencing here. I'm referencing reading something to learn something, to prove something about your life, to get educated on it, not just for stories. So, and one of the things you can do is maybe read 10 pages a day. Get up in the morning, maybe read 2 or 3 pages. You got a break in the afternoon, 3 or 4, and then same thing in the evening, you read 10 pages. In a month, you've read a 300-page book. Can also do with any of these things we're coming across is, heard this from Bob Proctor, heard this from Craig Ballantyne, is get up 15 minutes earlier, just 15. And Craig Ballantyne, you spend that time working on your most important task for your life you're working on, whether it's a side gig or whatever, or Bob Proctor talks about reading. And if you're curious on some suggested reading, I'll leave a link either in the description or in the comments for different references and even some stories with educational purposes to them that I like. Another way to go through this is masterclasses. There's masterclasses all the time. You go through learning strategies. Mind Valley there's a variety of references out there that has masterclasses all the time, topics you might like to learn, get a little tidbit information, which normally is part of it, goes into a class you pay for, but masterclass is usually free, at least you get an idea. And there's also games. There's a variety of games you can play either on your phone, on the computer, that works on your analytical, works on your memory skills, works on how to figure things out. So it's little ideas just here and there to work on your analytical, your mind. Creative mind. This is now the most obvious one when it comes to creative is art. We're going to leave that as a broad category, whether you want to doodle, whether you want to paint, whether you want to do poetry, do music. Art's a good one to kind of play around with that. And there's also games that work on your creativity as well. So that's the second one to be able to go through some games, whether it's drawing or figuring a creative solution to something. And sometimes with those, the mind, especially creative solutions, that's where the creative and the analytical kind of overlap each other. Of course, you use them both actually at the same time. Daydream. Go through and spend some time. You used to get in trouble for this probably in class for let your mind wander and daydreaming, but actually daydreaming is a way for you to play. What is it you're going to do? What are you working on? Let your mind wander. What emotions can I come up with that might be out of the box? Play like a kid. Go out, have some fun. Read comic books. Read those fun. Now, this would be a time where sometimes our reading stories for fun, pure entertainment comes into time because our mind takes us over there and we can be in that place. We can be in that story. So it's playing. It's playing with your kids or playing with your nieces or nephews or grandkids. Have some fun with it. Play some games just for fun. And then kind of take all some of those. Another one, take all those elements together, is visualize. And when you visualize, this is making sure to use all of your senses together. And this actually correlates to sometimes where some of the other things between body, mind, spirit, they might overlap a little bit. Is if you can visualize, you have your future, you got your goal you're working on. Is it your physique? Is it your career? Is it all the above? But you can do that and actually write that down, say in a journal. Use as much detail as you can. You want to experience it, that you want to immerse yourself into that area. You want to immerse yourself into the result. You want to taste it, touch it, feel it, smell it, hear it. And then what you can do from there is once you have that idea, set a timer on your phone. It's going to go off, set a timer or an alarm that goes off every 45 minutes. Every 45 minutes, you hit there, you set yourself, you visualize yourself back into that sensation that you were trying to go for. It's just something you can do throughout the day. And let's move on to the subconscious. So we covered analytical, we covered creative. Now the subconscious, this is the one that controls everything. This is where it's like the tip of the iceberg is your conscious mind, while underneath the water is your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is the one that rules the shows. And the subconscious mind, everything you experience, you hear, you think, you see, you touch, you think, goes in. Whether you know it or not, subconscious mind controls everything. So for this, little things you can do to work on your subconscious mind is simply be aware of what you're watching. Is it positive? Is it negative? Are you watching the constantly negative news all the time? That plays a factor into your mind, and that control kind of, in a sense, controls how your life, how you view life, and how you go throughout your day. What you listen to, along the same lines, what you listen to, even if it's just on the background. One of the people I had was kind of found herself constantly in a little bit of a negative mood or bad mood at times, and she's normally not like that. Well, she had news on. She had that constantly negative network on. That particular one was on like a television in the background. So even though she was focusing and working on the desk, that information was constantly being fed into her mind. Even though she wasn't really paying attention to it, it was fed in. So what are you listening to? Even the music, the movies. And along the same lines there, it's social media. What are you watching on social media? What are you sharing on social media? It's simply just being aware. Are you sharing positive? You feel negative? Now, when I say with the negative stuff, it doesn't mean turn a blind eye to and saying it doesn't exist. That stuff's out there. Just depends. You have to focus constantly on constantly bring it up. Are you saying positive, uplift from information? Are you complaining constantly in social media? What is it you're doing about? That plays a factor. So just be aware of that. Along those lines, you can set a random alarm. There's apps you can get on your phone that goes off randomly. You can set how many times a day it goes off. And when it goes off, what are you thinking? Is it positive or negative? Are you bringing yourself up or are you putting yourself down? Just it's something to kind of be aware of. And these are little things you can do throughout the day. Just be aware of yourself and then start making transitions needed. And the last one here on subconscious is who are you around? Now, this is both your physical environment as well as virtually. Are the people there to boost you up and lift you up and encourage you? Or are they to drag you down and bring you down? And what about you? Do you do the same? Are people there constantly criticizing you? Are you criticizing others? Not the best type to be around. So there we go. So there are 15 different ways to go through and be aware of to improve your mental health or your mind. So body, mind, spirit. This is the mind, some 15 ideas just to kind of play around. Give you track to get somewhere to get started. You can use one of those, change them up. And again, starting on Monday, which is the June 5th, got the date right. We're going to be spending the entire month of June going through and making sure, using those baby steps to improve our health in some way. If you want to be in the group, the link in the description is to the Facebook group. Join the group in there so you can support, have some accountability, and get some improvements in the next 30 days or so. All right. So again, the way things are going, I will be talking to you tomorrow instead of Friday, so it's Thursday. So have yourself a great rest of the day, and I will catch you tomorrow on Thursday. So take care and balancing to you.